Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Maricopa Open presented by Infinite Disc. Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, alongside Mike Jewell of Pin Deep Disc Golf. And Mike, we're going to check out what's happening here in the MPO coverage. Although, as of right now, you're the co-leader in MP40.
Absolutely. I'm super excited about it.
Oh, my God. Maybe you could give these young guys a few tips here. Hole 1, pretty straightforward. Little OB on the right and also OB deep. And at all nervous stepping up to the first hole?
Well, we were playing actually in some pretty serious fog, so we couldn't see the basket. And I played this course blind, so I was double blind on this hole. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Once you look at the map and you realize where the obstacles are, you understand it's pretty straight line.
So AB is off to that left side, hanging out a little bit wide, right out of his hand. He said he knew it was wide. Here's Adam Hammis, of course, good friends with Anthony Barela, also spending his time down in Arizona. And okay, well, that's a good start.
Yeah. And these guys bomb sidearms. I threw it right up the middle. I was not going to mess around with it. It's pretty rad to see people throw big sidearms like that over the trees.
And of course, no stranger to big distance, Jennifer Allen. She's going right up the middle at it. We've got her and Catrina, and let's just put this to bed right away. They're not related.
Okay. Everybody's curious.
Everybody wants to know. Our 2014 world champion, Catrina Allen, she turned that one over and then finds the right side OB.
Jennifer Allen's come pretty close for world championships, right?
She's been playing a long time. I don't know what exactly her top finish is, but she's definitely been good for a long time here. We'll see what she can do this weekend. A couple of weeks ago, she had a good battle with Owen Scoggins here in Arizona.
Oh, I love Owen. She's a friend. We play together a lot in Southern California.
So she takes your money on the putting green as well.
Well, I've actually been her teammate before at El Dorado. We did a doubles tournament, and we actually took it down. It was pretty rad.
Nice. So you see AB and Jen both a little bit tentative. AB, knowing that the OB is directly behind the basket, just didn't want to get too aggressive with it. Jen, on the other hand, laying it right up. And Adam Hammis, I feel like he's picking up right where he left off with me a couple weeks ago, birdieing.
Yeah. He seems to do that a lot.
He is good. And Kat will tap in for her bogey after going OB. So a little mix-up right away. We got a birdie, a bogey, and a pair of pars on hole number 1. And they're going to take a look at hole number 2.
We have a 339-foot hole. It is an island shot, so if you don't make the island, you have to go to the first drop zone. And I believe if you don't make it from there, you go to the second drop zone.
And, of course, danger everywhere. One thing you'll notice, and thank you to yourself, actually, to Mike here at Pin Deep for grabbing the drone footage, very little wind out here, at least at this point.
Right. Yeah, we didn't have much wind either, but again, our fog was so bad, you couldn't see the basket, you couldn't see any of the OB lines. So it's cool to see what the course actually looks like from this perspective.
Easy shot there for Hammis.
Yeah, I think the play here is probably to just do a really overstable fairway driver. I threw an enemy and just kind of spiked it down in there, kind of like what AB's doing right now. Well, that's perfect.
Just about, yeah. AB is throwing a Firebird. I'm going to do my best to try and give you guys a little insight. A couple of them were able to get back to me with some of the information. This is a Max by Jen Allen.
She's got so much whip. She knows how to do all that perfect weight distribution with her throw. It's pretty awesome to watch.
One of the most distinct reach backs in the game for sure.
Definitely. There we go. Another high hyzer.
Looks nice and controlled.
Yep. Beautiful.
So everybody on the dance floor, nobody even flirting with any of the danger.
I don't think anybody's laying up this time.
Just left for Jen. I think Jen will be the first to admit she's had a few struggles with her putter as of late. So we'll see if she can overcome that. I know she's been out there practicing whenever she can. She's also been really busy, saying that she's putting in anywhere from 40 to 60 hours in her physical therapy profession that she does full time. So we'll see how that translates out here today.
There we go. AB making good on that birdie. Making good. That's a phrase you use. I don't know why I just said it. He makes good.
It's I don't know, maybe some kind of transitive. I don't know. Somehow it carries over.
Yeah.
When you sit in the booth with someone else.
All right, there we go.
We head over to take a look at hole number 3. Thanks, of course, this PDGA B tier taking place this weekend. What are they doing on 3?
All right, we got 410 feet. It is straight ahead. You've got out of bounds right behind the basket, and you just want to slide right up there and just don't get too crazy. Not a whole lot of obstacles here on this hole, but, keep it controlled. These guys with these big arms are going to be able to control that 410-foot distance for sure. No worries. Cammy's waiting for the zombies to get out of the way.
Well, it's always interesting for me to see when they're throwing backhand versus forehand, because you mentioned it. Adam and, that needs to sit.
Oh, no.
A little bit deep, almost directly behind the pin. But both Adam and AB have so much power with their forehand. And just watching them step up to holes where I think, man, most people couldn't get their best shot there. And these guys just kind of lob it up there with a forehand. AB also going with the backhand, though, here.
Looks like he used a Firebird again.
I think he might have told me this is a PD, which I think is very Firebird-like.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit short. You have to wonder, maybe a bit tentative,
right.
You know, when you see your buddy go deep and just think, okay, that's the only mistake you can't make here is go long on this hole.
Right.
Oh, get new. Come on.
Get new. Yeah, I like that phrase.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That is trouble. That is a destroyer from her.
They have a phrase that they use in the South. I actually grew up in the South. They say, get skinny. When you're throwing through the tree, get skinny.
Yeah, people have been yelling that at me for years.
Yep.
And it's,
oh, no.
it doesn't, I don't know if it means the same, but.
It just means you get to be the big spoon.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being the big spoon.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Jen has, unlike AB, who's much closer to the basket where he had gone out, Jen is wide to the right, so she's going to have to settle for what looks like a bogey.
Looks like AB's got a fan watching.
I think so.
He's gotten so tall. I remember when he was like 5 foot nothing. I was taller than him, if you can believe that. I'm 5'7", and at some point I was taller than him. That was.
Yeah, and then he shot up like a.
Yeah, he looks like a wide receiver now. It's crazy. Oh.
And immediately I go to think, was that any form of adjustment? You saw her miss the last putt just low.
Just low, yeah.
So she walks up to this one, a little bit longer for sure, but, maybe in her head thinking, all right, make sure you get it up and over, and then maybe overcompensates slightly.
Yeah, happens all the time.
Adam is going to hold off for a moment. There's a lot of activity going on, right in his line of sight. Obviously, you see all the different sports.
Oh, they were playing all the sports out there. All of them. Lacrosse, soccer, baseball, softball, everything. But luckily, we didn't have to play around them. We were far enough away from them where it didn't bother any of the disc golf. It just, every now and again, you'd have somebody walk that didn't know that what they were doing. They were walking in your line of sight. So
lots of activity. Adam says he got worked by the bird. He saw the scooter going by. And Kat, from almost the same distance, is the previous putt.
Cashed
She's
it in.
able to, yeah. AB's going to scoop up the par. Oh, the change up.
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
That's how I putt from that distance. Except I do it upside down. It's weird.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I think we're going to see Jen get a little bit creative throughout the round.
Nice.
So we're going to head over to one of the few completely blind holes on this course.
Right.
What's the distance on this one?
All right, this one's 290 feet, and as you can see, I had to fly up and over those trees. Literally, no one is going to go through those trees. They're going to go up and over the trees, so I decided to obviously try to fly it that way. So, as you can see, there's out of bounds right behind the basket. It's kind of you got to slam on the brakes once you get over there. You can't really throw something that moves forward. You got to spike down into that green. Just like that.
Yeah, and it's a matter of, will you get any ground play? Obviously, this is basically just a rock bed. I mean, you're going to land in rocks. It's impossible not to. It's just a matter of, will you sit when it hits, or will you get a little ground play and skip off of them? And 2 for 2 where they pretty much just drop and finish right there.
Right.
And those are both within 15 or 20 feet at most. Adam with the forehand.
I want a forehand like that. When I grow up, I want to be just like him. I don't know. I can't throw spike hyzer forehands. There we go. Jen's going up and around as well.
Yep, and she came in about the same distance as all of them. And again, it's almost impossible to see these discs coming in because you're just throwing a blind shot up and over everything else.
Yeah, they're tough to film too.
Jen's putt is off to the right, and it's like she knew it right out of her hand. She thought maybe that she pulled it a little bit to the right. And this is also near an intersection, so there's often a few extra cars and other things going on here too.
Yeah, you just have to kind of clear your head and just focus. It's you in the basket. It's not you and the cars driving by sometimes, so you just have to buckle down.
That was a Raptor that we saw Adam throw. I think that's a pretty popular disc that he's going to throw quite a bit as the round goes on.
Go.
Easy cleanup.
Yep.
And about this time, it's about 12:45 Mountain Time.
We'll take it easy, guy.
Yeah, I know. And I actually had to turn on the volume on that. That was so loud, such a loud screech. It's about 12:45 or so Mountain Time. Beautiful day. Temperatures in the low 60s right now. So a little different than what you had earlier in the morning, but it's just really just gorgeous outside.
Oh, yeah, it was great. After maybe like 5 or 6 holes, it started to clear up, and I was able to take off my sweatshirt, and it's beautiful out here right now.
So we're looking at hole number 5 now. Interestingly enough, with the rain that came last night and some other weather, the triple Mando that was going to be in effect, it decided it was going to take a nap.
Right.
And there it was on the left side. So not playing as a triple Mando, but still very much like a peninsula green.
Right. Yeah, it's you're not looking at too wide of a field here. There's out of bounds on the right-hand side, as you can see those blue flags, and there's out of bounds where that sidewalk is on the left. And then if you throw a little too low, you could run into that orange fence. And there's also out of bounds behind the basket.
Yeah, and AB was no more than a few feet deep of where the OB is on that backside. So we all thought it looked like a great shot, and actually it was just a bit deep.
Yeah, I had a little slippage on the tee on this one. I'm not going to tell you what I scored on this, but I erased it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I knocked it. Got some birdies to get rid of it, so no worries.
Hammis with a zone.
I was going to say, was that a putter?
Yeah, this is a putter here by Jen. This is a Yeti AVR. And there's a $1,600 ace pool on the line. And...
Oh, goodness.
What a
Wow.
shot.
That was beautiful. I want to ask disc golfers what's going through their head when they putt. I want to ask Catrina right now what she just told herself when she lined up like that.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I'm always curious. I tell myself, you're the greatest putter of all time. You're the greatest putter of all time.
Okay.
It's not true.
No, that doesn't matter, though.
But it doesn't matter in the moment. In the moment, I believe it, so I'm curious what other people are thinking.
If I'm struggling with my putting, I always say, hit that link. And I'll, like, specifically, or hit the pole. I will, like, say that audibly or in my head. That's what I'll say to try and reinforce. And, well, Adam, he doesn't need to think. He just also can do it blindfolded, backwards, and left-handed if he has to. Doesn't matter. So AB actually brings this in to give him the little tap in for the par.
Okay.
Jen with the closest to the pin.
I like how she lines up, too. Oh, no. That ace run got in her head.
Yeah, I think if Happy Gilmore was just like, that was so much easier. I just put it in one. Just
Yeah.
all right, we take we kind of cross a street, and then we head over to this one where there's some construction going on off to the left. I'm not sure what the actual building is.
It looks like a motel. It looks like maybe like a Motel 6 or something.
We'll go with that.
This one's 381 feet. There's a little OB on your left with a fence. And then there's like a structure in the middle of the fairway that's out of bounds. But other than that, probably not going to go into the freeway to the right.
That kind of kicks off the left side and then kicks out into the right. I have a hard time believing this is a full 381. Do you feel like it played that far for you?
No, not really. No, I did throw a big hyzer like this and then landed near the basket and skipped. I didn't think I threw a 381, but I was pin deep. Hey, a little plug for my brand there. I was pin deep in the basket way over to the left because I got a nice little skip, but was able to put a run on it.
And we saw the very easy hyzer there by Hamas AB with what looks like almost an identical shot.
Yep.
And pretty similar result there.
And they'll be able to run it because they're putting uphill. If you're where I was, it's a little harder to run it because the drop-off that happens behind the basket going down that hill. Jen going a little wider than they did, but she's pretty close to him.
And that was a star rock 3 a moment ago by AB.
What?
That's what he sent me and said that there was a star rock 3 that he threw, and Catrina not messing with that hillside. She had kind of just got up real quickly and threw because she knew she was just laying up, and Jen.
I barely got you. You're all good.
Yeah, Catrina apologizing, and I'm like, no, I mean, I don't blame you if you're just running up there and laying up.
Yeah,
that's all right. She said she wasn't in tournament mode yet, which I can understand.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, there it
beauty.
is.
A rock 3? That's rude.
That's what that's what he said rude. He threw there.
380. Ugh.
A lazy 380, mind you.
And he hyzered it big time. Oh,
I mean, he didn't even exert any kind of real effort. Again, Adam almost from the same distance.
Right. Beautiful.
Same result.
Yep. Smashing it. Upside down turbo. Come on.
Oh, we're going to see.
Yes. We just became best friends. That almost splashed out. Holy smokes.
And the crazy part is we all kind of agreed we wouldn't tell her because she leaned
she
over.
Didn't look.
Yeah, she didn't see it. And I was like, a couple of us were like, yeah, I'm not going to tell her that. That was much closer than it looked. So, Jen, we were thinking about you there by not mentioning it during the round. And we move over to a shorty.
This
hole number
is
7.
A super scary 239-foot hole number 7. Super scary because look at all the out of bounds. The island's actually pretty small. You got to get a little tricky here. There's a tall curb on the right-hand side, so it's not like you could just slide it in. Okay, that's a thing.
Yeah, and I was I mean,
Wow.
talk about confidence. That's a raptor. So you know he's good with the disc, and this is a pig by AB, but just so interesting to rely on that shot as opposed to like a natural.
Oh, man.
That's just dirty.
Yeah. Oh. At least we got cute puppies to look back at in the background.
Yeah, there's a word though that you might. That just doesn't seem right.
Yeah,
though. That was such
wrong.
a good shot by, and with like a soft,
Yeah.
pig type
It landed
disc.
really soft.
Ooh. So she plays it off the pole.
Yep.
And that'll work.
She drew metal, as you
Yep,
say.
Yep. This is an AVR X3 by Jen.
Get up. Oh. Get in. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, she knows she got away with one there. She hit the curb, 3 times there? 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, that's just a Tony Hawk, like, rail slide
Oh, yeah,
or
for sure.
something, right?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah, rail
Okay.
slide.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah. I know my skateboarding terminology. And now AB, who is, right underneath the basket.
Tricky.
Now,
Tricky shot here.
and all I'm thinking while I'm filming this moment is this just doesn't feel right. Like, this feels so
Yeah.
terrible that he had such a good shot, and here he is working this hard to try and get the birdie too on the shortest hole in the tournament, or at least the shortest hole of this course.
As long as he doesn't beat himself up over it, I mean, he seems to have a pretty strong head game. If you don't beat yourself up over doing something perfectly and then having a bad result from that, I think you'll be fine.
It's like from time to time a great putt can spit out on you, and you're right, you can't get too worked up over it.
Yeah, those types of things tend to ruin your day if you keep beating yourself up over one thing that happened. So it's a good idea to just forget about it. Move on.
Sit down. Okay. And Jen, we saw a moment ago, bringing it in. I know I talked about this in the last coverage at the Shelly Sharp, but you can, anytime you're either out of bounds or near out of bounds, you can bring it up to 1 meter away from the OB line. You don't have to take it, but if you want to, you can. And that's exactly what she had done. And kind of crazy to see all those shots, and ultimately Adam, the only one to walk away with the birdie,
Right.
but tap in for Cat, and what you're not going to see on video is a little bit of a backup on this next tee, and then they decided to get a little bit of Texas Hold'em in during the backup. But
That's funny.
Here we are, the first par 4 of the day.
I think this is the first par 4. It's 712 feet. Typically, I think the best way to play this hole is the short tee is 350 feet away from the pin. So basically, if you just play to the short tee, 350 feet, play another 350, you got yourself a pretty easy birdie.
And the culvert, I think would be the term, off to the right, that ditch line is out of bounds.
Correct.
As well.
And there's also a playing field that they use for soccer and lacrosse and all that stuff way over to the left. That also plays out of bounds. Starts with a flat curve. Whoa.
Yeah.
Sorry. he got me there.
Yeah, he was nervous.
Yeah.
Understandably, it looks like he didn't necessarily love the shot, but it actually turned out to be in perfect position. AB's going to hang it even wider to the right.
Yeah, he's just going to throw a putter, 400 feet, no big deal. Oh my gosh.
And going with your sentiment, just
Yeah.
saying, that was scary. That was a destroyer, and then he'll throw a destroyer on the next tee as well.
There we go. Should land mid
Nice.
fairway.
Yep, nice and smooth, as you would expect.
Yeah, see, she's right there by that short tee, so she's got 360 feet to go. If you kind of dissect these super long, narrow holes in that way, they become a lot easier. If you tell yourself, I've got to mash it as far as I can, I feel like you're playing it wrong, you know?
Yep, just Yeah, as you said, there's the short tee. Jen had also thrown a destroyer off the tee.
Oh no, she slipped there.
Yeah, and unfortunately that carries right over the culvert.
And it's culvert and beyond is out of bounds, yep.
Correct, yep.
Yep. Yeah, this ground is really soft. So it's kind of tough to get really good footing or feel confident that when you stomp that last foot down that it's actually going to stay put.
Yeah, and I was just really trying to show the kind of the odd run-up that Jen was going to have there, and she managed it quite well.
Get it. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, great skip. I think that was her max again, and just
Yeah.
a really nice skip. AB with plenty of room out on this right side. You're, essentially throwing a similar shot to off the tee, just a little less power. But
Right.
unfortunately, I think he backed down too much, leaving himself a, circle 2 putt just outside the circle.
That time he really did throw a putter, didn't he? Threw like a really overstable putter, wasn't it?
I don't think I have it listed, but
Oh, okay.
Adam, I think this is his zone that we saw back on hole 5.
Okay.
Also just a little bit short.
Yeah.
So Kat will go up to where she was last inbounds, and
Correct,
she'll be
yep.
throwing from up there. At least that's a nice flat spot to throw from.
I'm not going to tell you which hole I had to throw from up there, but I did have to throw from up on that thing.
AB lining up a birdie. This is about 38 feet.
Just hit the rim on the left.
Yeah,
Yep.
he didn't look fully committed or dialed or something, as you can see as a result. Quick shout outs. So many amazing people. Curtis, I met him just yesterday. You see him there with a camera. He said he'd love to take a camera and go out and try and get some footage as Adam cashes in the birdie. So huge shout out to Curtis and my host, Amy and Hav, along with Chris Cobb, who's a fixture in Arizona disc golf. So a bunch of those individuals out on the course today.
Yeah, without them, it's kind of hard to put together some footage for everybody out here. So big thanks to those guys. I appreciate you.
Yeah, and of course, all the hole sponsors you've been seeing on the bottom of the holes, and all the supporters, along with Infinite Disc and Sam and Chuck and everybody that's making things happen, as Jen is just a bit short. Pin Deep coming in also with some drone footage.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can check out pindeepdiscgolf.com. We've got a bunch of discs for sale, stuff like that. You go to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/pindeepdiscgolf. Subscribe. We're looking to hopefully get paid for that kind of footage eventually. So
Amazing. As we head over to our last hole of the front 9, this 18-hole course. And what is this, a little bit shorter than the previous hole?
yeah, this is very similar to the last hole, except the tee is tucked away to the left, and so is the basket. So you have to navigate the same culvert on your right-hand side. But now you have all these trees that are in a line. So, and on this hole, there's these big mounds of this grass type substance. It's really weird. One of the local guys was telling me not to land in it because your disc gets a little funky and it can just straight up disappear. So
Yeah, some of the grass clippings
Yeah.
and refuse. Maybe that's a fancy word for it.
that is a fancy word. I've never heard that word before, sir. Now I need to break out my dictionary.com.
No, don't do that yet, because I might be wrong. AB finds the tree, and it filters down to the bottom. There's no 2-meter rule, per se, here at the tournament, but like I said, that was a destroyer by AB. This is, I believe, a destroyer by Jen. And she lands within a few feet of where AB just
Yep.
landed, which
Yeah.
is actually kind of incredible.
Yeah, she's awesome, man. It's fun to watch her play.
Yeah, really
Trina
too
throwing
bad.
this one a little bit higher than the last two.
Yeah, it finishes left. And I was just going to quickly say it's too bad Jen had offered to do a free clinic on Friday. And, of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
one of the few days that it rains here in Arizona. Happened to be on Friday, so she wasn't able to pull it off. But I know that she's ready, willing, and able to help out quite a bit with that stuff.
So she wasn't able to do anything?
No, it was that was the
rainy.
nastiest, rainiest, coldest part of all of Friday, pretty much right when that was supposed to start. So unfortunately, but looks like we're gonna have gorgeous weather for both Saturday and Sunday's rounds. Just got a little patent pending, can just barely see the top of the basket.
Where'd she end up over there?
They said that she was safe. I think
Okay.
after you get past a certain point over to that left-hand
There's
side,
no
you're
longer a
actually
curb, so
inbounds.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And AB has a very similar lie, just a few feet in front of where Jen is. Not quite as encumbered.
Doing the same stance. Really overstable.
Yeah, hits the mound and also short.
Okay, so he's about 45. Got a tricky little shot here from Adam.
I'm sensing a pattern. Everybody, like, there's not a lot of trees out here, but everybody seemed to get behind one this hole.
I had a similar thing happen to me. I hit one of these trees off the tee and had a weird out, and so that's the way it goes. The hole is way trickier than the last one, and I think harder, even though it's 100 feet shorter. So
Adam on both 8 and 9 throwing a force off the tee. As Catrina puts it right next to the pin. I also real quick want to say thank you guys for joining, and leave a comment. Of course, I need you to like and subscribe, all that YouTuber stuff. But leave a comment and tell us what's your favorite activity going on in the park besides disc golf. See some softball, we got lacrosse, some soccer, some football. There's a lot of things going on. So leave your favorite sport that's not disc golf that's happening maybe in the park.
those youngsters, soccer girls, were really playing awesome whenever I was doing the drone footage. I actually stopped and watched them play for a little bit. Yeah, this one girl ripped a shot at the goal. It was pretty awesome.
So Adam had a long look. He's going to take the par. This is AB, just with really awkward footing more than anything.
I believe in you, AB.
See this shadow painted there
Yeah.
on the hill. It's like I planned it, but I
Yep.
didn't. Eesh.
Shake it off.
Yeah, and you know that footing, and that probably does feel awkward, almost sloped down.
Right.
Not too often are you in that kind of a stance. Left himself a little bit of a tester.
Boom.
Okay, no problem.
No problem. Back him up. That one was too easy.
And Adams, who's just having a phenomenal front nine here. All right, Mike, hopefully you'll join me in the back as we close out the first round at Copper Sky.
I'll think about it.
All right, well, you better be there. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Again, like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And thank you to everyone for making this coverage possible. We'll see you in the back nine at the 2021 Maricopa Open, presented by Infinite Discs.